Welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast, your number one source for all things entertainment. Join host Marco Mazzola and his fellow ranters as they sound off on the latest movies, TV, and the world of entertainment. Now, here are your ranters for the hour, Marco, Mila, Larry, and Bruno.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast. I am, as always, your host, Marco Mazzola, and with me is one lone ranter who has survived Marvel's Secret Invasion. It is Larry. Hello, Larry.
Hey.
What's going on, good sir?
Nothing much.
Oh, my word. Here we are, reviewing the entire first season, hopefully the only season of Secret Invasion. What do you think? Only season?
I think it's gonna be the only season because it had a beginning. It's a setup. This is entirely a setup
for a movie.
Yeah, it's Secret Wars. It's the next phase, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a setup. So I don't think that they have a quote unquote second season. They'll have a movie that probably starts like right where this leaves off, or you know what I'm saying, or
tie to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So something.
Because I think the Marvels has Nick Fury in it too, doesn't it?
Honestly, I think Nick Fury's in every single one. Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you can't have any of these Marvel shows without a mention of Nick Fury or with Nick Fury. I mean, he's the one who got the Avengers together. He's kind of the glue that at least they've sold us as he's the glue for everything. Yeah. You know, so which I don't mind. You know, I mean, he's a center character. Yeah. Nick Fury, I mean, in the Marvels,
and we can't get enough of Samuel L. Jackson.
Exactly. Well.
All right, Larry has a different opinion on that. I can't wait to talk about that.
It's not that we can't get it. I love me some Samuel L. Jackson. I really do. And everything that I've seen him in, I really like him, man. He's just an awesome actor.
Yeah. Agreed.
You know, so it's
then not came Secret Invasion.
Yeah. Well, no. It just, he's getting a little long in the tooth. And we could talk about
Sam or Nick Fury?
Sam, Nick Fury, like this character. He's getting a little long, getting a little old.
Yeah.
You kind of saw that during this, right? So I'll jump right to the last episode. I was kind of impressed with the whole. I knew that there was something else going on.
Yes.
Yeah, look, it came out on Wednesday. That was the 6th episode. We're recording this on Friday. It's 2 days later.
It's coming out on Tuesday.
We're recording on Friday. This comes out on Tuesday. So if you haven't seen it by literally a week later, tough shit. Yeah. This is it. Before I jump into any episodes, let me just start right away. I like this series.
That is not what I thought you were going to say.
I know, and I purposely kept that to myself.
You did that well. You kept that into the vest very well.
Yep, and I can get into it. It was your typical spy espionage type build up show, and after the first episode, I was kind of like, ugh, it's a little slow. As it went on, though, it was literally from opening credits to end credits. It was action throughout the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. They kept it going, yeah.
Not a lot of dull moments.
Nope.
Even the non-action kind of slow, just dialogue moments, they had something. They were giving you information. Nick Fury's fucking married to a fucking Skrull.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So.
Drops the ring off.
Right. I'm like, holy shit. You know, so, and I like and that was another thing too, like, the flashbacks in it. I hate flashbacks.
We know.
And
well documented. Go back and listen to it.
Go back and listen to it. But the flashbacks here. The flashbacks here, they were small, they were short, they were quick, and they were informative. It wasn't just Sam Jackson driving in a car.
Right.
Or living in the fucking
They were definitely
sand.
needed for context.
They were needed for context, so now we know about his wife. We know how he first met her. Like, we see all that. So I didn't mind those flashbacks.
Yeah, no, me either.
There was. So that's the thing, like, every episode I really liked. First episode, second episode, I have it down, was 55 and 57 minutes. I'm like, all right, cool. Third episode, 43 minutes. I'm like, are they doing this shit?
They start this shit again.
Fourth episode, 36 minutes. I'm like, don't you fucking, are you kidding me? This is what you're doing? Even though that fourth episode was 36 minutes, and I have it in my notes, it didn't feel like it was 36 minutes because there was a lot going on.
Right.
You know, that's when we first, as I'm watching, I'm going, oh my God, they're going to create the Super Skrull. And then he says, well, basically going to be Super Skrulls. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I was really happy about that.
So this is the thing.
I was hoping, when he heard it was about, obviously, Secret Invasions, about the Skrulls, I'm like, do you think they're going to go Super Skrull on this one?
Yeah.
I was really hoping they did. Now, we don't have the Fantastic Four yet. Right. So we're not duplicating the Fantastic Four powers.
Which I'm okay. Because I mean, that's how the Super Skrull was.
Yes.
And I get it. And honestly, I'm okay with that.
This is a slightly different universe. It's not the comic book universe, so we have to allow which a lot of fans are not allowing for. We know that.
Yeah. But what they gave him though. So at first he just had the fucking Groot power.
Yeah.
Awesome. He's fucking throwing trees through. He's baking his arm into a tree and stabbing people. I was like, holy
he's Groot.
shit.
Yeah, he's Groot. So she pulls out the Drax arm.
Yeah.
Does the flex. Yeah.
So again, this whole thing from beginning to end, I was into it, man, and I kept it very close because I knew we were going to do this, and I didn't want to give you any kind of idea of how I felt about it.
Sons of bitches. Yes, no, you did. So, you held it really tight.
I mean, we could go episode by episode, but
and we will.
Just overall arc. I really liked the story beginning to end. You know, and again, Damian Marvel. I stayed on for way too long and realized that there was no bonus episode, bonus credits, right? I'm like, the fuck? You didn't give me anything? You summon a bitch.
Oh, I just scroll. I just scrub. I scrub through and just see it. Like, once it hits the credits, I scrub through and watch to see if anything comes up. Then I'm like, yep, nope, nothing about. That's the nice thing about being home watching it.
Yeah, right.
And just zip through. But I'm on the same boat. Like, I enjoyed it. And I talked to you about the first episode because we had mentioned it on one of the podcasts. Like, hey, have you watched this? And I said, yeah, I watched the first episode and I liked it. You know, it was an introduction to the espionage. It was there. We had Martin Freeman's character, right? So we had that going on, and then boom, he gets killed, and he's a Skrull, and all right, they're kind of hitting the ground running on this, and it was very, it wasn't superheroes running around all over the place, right? So you had that kind of dynamic happening, so it seemed very cool, James Bondy type of, show where we didn't need to have Thor and all the big superheroes, all the big bats coming running through. It does seem a little awkward on the onset that this kind of shit was going down and they don't call anybody in. That's always kind of a thing when you have a universe full of Miss Marvels and all these people, and you don't ever call somebody somebody could be off planet doing something, but I think somebody's probably, even a Spidey is around, can help you out.
I think that they explained that kind of well because
they did. It was kind of a humorous of he's like, I started this, I need to finish this.
And it was kind of one of those.
This is my problem.
This is my problem. And one of those things shit, I can't tell these people that there's a million fucking Skrulls and it's all because of me.
Yeah.
Think about it, he can't. Because they're going to look at him and go,
what the fuck did you do?
What did you do, bro? He's
you brought this shit on us.
So it's he needs to control this shit. So, and
he
knew
gets
that.
out there, absolutely.
So, and he knew that. So, yeah, I mean, but I thought the same thing. It's and I mean, they say it. She even said, she goes, can't you call some of your friends to come down? He's like, yeah, I can't be calling them right now.
Yeah, this is my issue. I fucked up and I can't really introduce them to this. But on an end day, you're kind of like, well, I mean, if the shit's gonna hit the fan, you know what I mean? Hubris is gonna kind of go out the window. Unless you think, unless you absolutely know you can control this. Right. You might want to, think twice and say, maybe I give somebody a call. Even a low level. Maybe call Ant-Man. You know what I mean? Oh, he's kind of mouthy. He'll tell everybody. But you call somebody who can keep their mouth quiet, who can keep their mouth shut.
Yeah, right.
Certainly not Tom Holland. But you don't call him. He's going to let everybody fucking know.
Do you know that?
He'll get on Jimmy Fallon and tell every fucking buddy. So, I mean, overall, I enjoyed the series. I liked where they went with it. The Super Skrull thing. I seen it online. I know why people are bitching and moaning. I don't agree for the most part. I know people are bitching, and you haven't seen a lot of it, but people are bitching and moaning that once again, now we have another ultra super powered hero. She's now she's essentially the most powerful Marvel character now.
Yeah.
She has everybody's fucking power. Yeah. Which was kind of and I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit about the people we have a woman who gives a fuck if it's a man or a woman.
Oh, God.
Those people need to fucking sit down and the war's over, get new parts for your fucking head. Doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. The part of the fact that you're upset that there's a ultra super powered hero, I get it. That I'm totally down with. Yeah, whether it's a man or woman makes no fucking difference, okay?
Yeah, but you know what though?
So if you're upset because it's a woman, just put on your big boy diaper and calm the fuck down. But you're not wrong the fact that we have a hero out there now who has everybody's fucking power. Like the Super Skrull had the Fantastic Four powers, and that was it.
Right.
Now you got fucking Drax and Miss Marvel, and you have everybody's
that's
fucking
the big
power.
One was a Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel. Yeah, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel's power, like,
Because that's
but
what she
still
ends up killing him
everybody's
with.
powers.
Right. But again,
So you can essentially defeat anybody because you have everybody's fucking powers. So whoever you come up against, somebody has a power to defeat that person. You could have Hulk's power. Who else was there? Everybody was there.
Yeah.
Everybody was there in Endgame, and they harvested the whole fucking field.
Yeah, well, yeah, you see it when
Yes, people ask like, how did they get Captain Marvel's? But yeah, Thanos made her bleed.
Yeah,
she was bleeding from the nose when he hit her.
Yep.
He hit her that fucking hard, and she knocked her back. She was bleeding. So yeah, there was her blood there. Everybody's fucking blood was spilled.
Yeah,
at one point or another. So yeah. No, they got pretty much everybody's blood and harvested it. So. She's got almost everybody's powers in her, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I get that point. It's a little overpowered. Yeah, so we'll see where they go with it from here.
Right. I mean, depending on how they write things. And again, at the end of it, when that other woman there, she was like, look, let's, Gaia says it, so she goes, she was like, do you know who I am? She was like, well, of course I do. She goes, well, if you did, you wouldn't be doing it. She was like, look, well, obviously I know who you are, and I'm not going to mess with this, but this is the story. You need to keep your people alive. I want to keep my people alive. You use me, I use you, and we're good. We're good. We're going to do it like business.
Yeah.
And so I like that. It's not a love story. It's a business, right? We're both just going to use each other to make sure that everything stays normal. And I think that if they stay with that case, then I don't think she's going to be like so much a hero. I think she'll be like an anti-hero, like a Punisher or something like that. I don't think she's going to take on full advantage of either side. It'll kind of be like, this isn't my beef, and she'll either get into it or not get into it. So, again, depending on how the writing goes, I think. I mean, that's something
But then you're kind of stuck in that place where you have this character there.
What do you do with it?
But you don't use it because you've read yourself into almost a corner, right? We had Captain Marvel, and she could have taken care of a lot of shit prior to Endgame, but she was off doing something else. Right. Like, make a fucking phone call. Like, I know you're doing something, but this kind of shit's important. Like, Thanos was fucking around, about to blip out half the universe, including where you were.
Yeah.
And that could have included you.
Yeah. So why don't you get your ass down here? It was just a random
half.
Yeah, so why don't you get your ass down here?
You're lucky you weren't in that random fucking half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you might want to get your ass back here, deal with that shit later, because I guarantee you it's not as big as what's going on right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Blipping out half the universe clearly can't be as... It has to take precedent on what you're doing.
Yeah, but
but they kept her out of it because it would have been too much of an easy bip done.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I get why people get upset about things like that, but at the same time, it's a story, right? We have to carry story arcs.
Yeah.
Within a certain story arc, I mean, with any big, I mean, go back to fucking Game of Thrones. I mean, for fuck's sakes, like you could have ended all that shit like right in the like episode 3.
Yeah.
They could have killed fucking Joffrey off and said fuck off. Now what? So I mean, there's so many.
But it's hard to swallow that pill for some people.
Yeah.
And I'm probably one of those people. Like, you have that character, that person could just fucking throw the Captain Marvel punch, and this all would be over.
Yeah.
And you wrote yourself into a corner now because you introduced that character and you didn't need to.
Yeah.
You could have given her some power, but you didn't give her everybody's fucking power. You know what I mean? Because the Super Skrulls didn't have everybody's fucking power.
Right. But
it could have been a select couple of powers and been done with it.
It would have been cool if like I said, like if it only had like just a few powers.
Even if it was just the original Avengers or something like that. Like if he had harvested from New York or something like that. Like the original fight from New York. You know what I mean?
Which is honestly
not Endgame.
That's what I thought it was.
That's what I thought so too, but it wasn't. It was Endgame.
Because I thought that he said, all the people that I thought that he said New York. I was like, oh, okay.
No, it was Endgame.
And then when he plugs it in, it sees everybody's names. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they were there at the end of end of Endgame. They came through and harvested off the field. So I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But
I mean, that aside, and again, depending on how they play that, we'll see.
We'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we had a couple of big deaths. Like that are real deaths, not kind of like, we killed Martin Freeman, but he's not really dead.
He's not really dead.
We'll get into the whole Martin Freeman. We'll get into the roadie stuff in a second. Let's go to the actual deaths.
Maria Hill.
We kill off Maria Hill. First,
that
boom,
was
gone.
Fucking huge.
Didn't see that coming. Kobe Smulders, she's been in there since almost the beginning, like especially obviously since the first Avengers movie. She's been there.
Yep.
doing the Maria Hill thing, and then bang, shot, gone. Obviously didn't turn into a Skrull. It's really her.
It's really her. No, that was her. That was 100% her.
And they bury her, so it doesn't look like there's kind of like a, hey, we stuck her in on ice and we're going to bring her back later just
with
because.
Captain America or something.
Because they always tease that they're going to bring Coulson back in because he is alive. He was alive in the TV show. They did the whole Tahiti thing and they brought him back. So they could, Clark Gregg has teased the fact that he might show up again at some point. You know what I mean? He could.
Yeah, but the thing about Coulson, though, and he was alive for the TV show, but is that TV show, I know
it's canon, but not really. Yeah,
because I know there was always talks about that was a good show. I liked it.
I did too. I mean, it kind of along on the tooth at the end of it, but the first few seasons were really good. The first few seasons,
I was like, holy shit, this is really fucking good.
It was, and I was hoping they'd make it canon, and some of the stuff was parallel, and you had a little
they mentioned New York every once in a while.
Yeah, they'd call it the incident.
Yeah, the incident. That's right. Yeah.
So they would talk about it, and I was hoping they would because it was a really fun show at the beginning, but. Who knows if they do, but I would like to see him back in it, but I would love to see Maria Hill back again, but doesn't look like we're going to get her back at all. That was kind of surprising. And then, of course, we lose, what's his name? Oh, boy, the Skrull.
Which one, Talos?
Talos, thank you.
But that's like...
Kronos. Talos, you know what I mean?
But that's like episode 4 or 5, I think. Maybe even 4. I have it written down here somewhere. We'll get to it.
Yeah, when the president gets it.
That was kind of... That sucked, man. I liked him.
I know, because I kind of wanted it to be him at the end to go against. You know what I mean? But I understand why it was his daughter.
Which, again, holy fuck.
Yeah.
When she gets shot, I was like, yo, they killed fucking Amelia Clark.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. And then the next episode.
She comes back.
I was like, oh, damn. Yeah. And I like how they explain that. They give it that quick little, she was in there. She saw what was happening. She looked at the nose. Boop, boop, boop. She jumps in. She gets the powers. I'm like, oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically extremis. It's basically what it looks like from the Iron Man stuff.
Oh, I'm like,
from Iron Man 3, right? Remember with... Remember the what's his name? Who comes? The guy who was like from the original movie, and he comes back and he's got he almost like he's going to explode.
Yeah,
everybody kept exploding.
Shit, yeah. I forgot.
Kind of looks like a Val Kilmer, but it's
he does, yeah.
That guy,
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, so it basically looks. That's what it looks like. It looks like a version of Extremis that they have, but then they build it into the Super Skrull stuff.
Yeah.
So like they just glow and everything comes back and they just regenerate. So like that was pretty cool linkage to the original stuff a long time ago. Like that movie was out for a long time ago. So I thought that was a great little like link to the past. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But again, I was really sad to see Talos go. Like his journey was kind of like we've been on this journey with him for a while now, yes. And just kind of like
so that's
he doesn't really get a great ending to his journey. He doesn't really get a vindicated ending. He just gets fucking shot.
His wife is dead.
Yeah.
Right. His daughter took off.
And she was kind of working for the enemy. Like, at that point, he was trying to bring her back into the fold. Was she really back with him?
Right.
She kind of still on the fence about it. You know what I mean? Back and forth.
On episode 2, I have to hit this. So it starts off with it's a recap, and they show us the Captain Marvel movie back in '95. So I thought that was cool, right? And then it continues on the story. I have to say that the de-aging that they use in this, so that's like a thing now.
Yeah.
And it's getting really easy for people like, hey, we want to make, and I thought of it because we talked about it with Indiana Jones. Because the technology is getting so much better, I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot more of it.
Yeah.
If they want to bring these characters back somehow, introduce something from the past, I think we're going to see a lot of this de-aging.
Yeah.
Because again, I saw it there and I was like, holy shit, they did it with this one too, and it looked really good. And I just kind of wanted to put that there.
Put that there, yeah.
Because that's when we see him with that's when he first meets his wife. Was 1997. They're in London,
right?
So that that wasn't something that they filmed way back when,
right? That
was filmed for this, so that's why I guess I was like, yo, the de-aging on this is really fucking good.
Yeah, I know it was. The technology is always going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah, and then this one, that's when you get to see how far the the Skrull hand has extended with like prime ministers, the head of NATO. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They're all part of it.
Yep.
Shooter McGavin's in him.
Yeah, Shooter, go to Sizzler. So yeah, that was. That's all we needed was Joe Flaherty come run through. So asshole. So yeah, that was interesting, and we got a glimpse as to how long Rhodey has been out of the game.
So we don't see that until the end, and I want to highlight that because we don't really know that we don't know he's a Skrull yet.
Right.
You know, I think we find out like episode 3 or 4, right?
Yeah. I mean, it just seems shady from the beginning,
right. But right at the beginning, so I even wrote, I was like, yo, Rhodey's got some balls when he was going up against the UN.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
But then, like, once you find out and you kind of think back to the shit he's saying, he's like, yeah, he's kind of fucking instigating.
Yeah.
He's kind of like instigating and begging them to, like, yeah, fucking do something about it.
Yep.
He's egging them on, essentially. You know what I mean? To start some shit. You know, you're not gonna do anything with us, and we're not gonna fucking bother.
Yeah,
like, we don't have to do anything because we are who we are. And so, the guy was kind of like, what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Right. So I mean, like Rhodey's attitude, which I just want to give Don Cheadle so much credit for this, you know, because he was playing a character, but differently, right?
Yeah.
And it actually made me think of that movie Face Off with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. Awesome fucking movie. Definitely one of my tops. But like they were saying, I remember their interview, like they were trying to, like, John Travolta's like, you know, I had to try to act like, you know, myself, but then I have to act like the Nicolas Cage character.
Right.
You know, and Nicolas Cage said the same thing.
Yep.
So like they had to act like each other's characters. So it made me think of that when this is Don Cheadle playing Rhodey, but you can't play him like you normally play Rhodey. You got to play him a little differently.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, yeah, maybe when I'm watching
somebody trying to play Rhodey.
Exactly. And, you know, and when I was watching
best
this,
Rhodey impersonation.
You know, watching this, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Almost like watching The Flash again, right? Watching the two Barrys.
Yeah.
Don't leave. Come back.
No, fuck.
I watched it again, by the way.
I'm sorry.
I got it on iTunes, on Apple iTunes. I watched it again. Yeah, it's just as bad the second time.
Yeah.
In case anybody was wondering.
When they...
You heard me, Three Geeky Dads.
when they go into the butcher shop, when Kravik and his boy go into the butcher shop, the fight choreography in that was unfucking believable.
Yeah, there was some definitely good fight choreography in the show.
That's what I want to hit on too. Like the fighting in this, the choreography was done so well. It's like there was never once that wouldn't really happen.
Yeah.
Or come on, man, did he really do that? Everything from the gunplay.
I mean, it's no John Wick, but it's, you know, it's there.
It's definitely not. Definitely not. But even with that John Wick aspect,
I want another John Wick movie right now.
The gunplay in that was really good. The way that they reacted and countered people, like the action in this was really, really good. Yeah, this is an awesome series. I'm sorry.
I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Like, I enjoyed this series, and I fair thing to say that you actually enjoyed it more than me.
Maybe.
And that's not. I'm not trying to give a slight to the series because I actually really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
But a lot of things I had some issues with it. But I really think your enthusiasm for this, like, actually, it's more than mine.
Yeah. Well, see, I also didn't go online to see what people were shitting on because if I did
it until the end. Because that last episode started off good and they got a fucking tank. It's literally the lowest rated Marvel streaming series. It's got a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes simply because of the final episode. It was doing decent, not well, but decent until the final episode, and it shat the bed. Everybody thinks it's just like, you know, that overpowered character, the Super Skrull stuff, like the fighting with them having like every fucking power, and the people just
that was a cool fight scene.
People just thought they just jumped the fucking shark at that point, and they thought like the last. And I think that a lot of people are griping about, and this isn't me griping. I think a lot of people were griping the fact that it was kind of a rushed ending. We built up, like, it could maybe, if we drew it out, like maybe just 2 more episodes, that's it. Just 8 episodes instead of 6. We draw it out a little bit more. We could have a little bit more of a build up to the fucking war. It's like, all right, and then Nick Fury, who's not, it's Gaia, is there, and they just have their chat, and boom. And then the president, Like the hallway scene at in the hospital.
Yeah.
With Rhodey, the little standoff, and then all of a sudden the president does this whole fucking like screw them all. Like the president, there's something up with the president.
That's exactly because that
somebody needs to chop off a finger because I don't know if that's the fucking president.
So
you know what I mean?
that's
like, he's
what I'm wondering.
Shoot them all type of thing.
Because that was part of the last episode that I didn't like. Honestly, the Super Skrull versus Super Skrull, I just thought that was really cool looking.
Yeah.
I just. Whatever, fuck the rest of them with their 13%. I thought that was a badass fight. Now, after that I didn't like the president's speech because he even says it. So he was like, if you don't like it, get off my planet. And Nick Fury's kind of like, okay, yeah, like, I guess I'm getting off the planet.
That's like not quite how I thought this was going to go down.
And he says it, he's like, I don't know what you thought that you were going to do, like, by insinuating all this. Now you have all these vigilantes. And they're showing the people getting killed. And I'm like, holy fuck.
But non-Skrulls, too. Like,
non-Skrulls, right. So
just taking random people out who they think are like, Skrulls.
So
you act a little weird. You're like, oh, it's kind of like a witch hunt.
Yeah, exactly. So they just started going after everybody. And that kind of fucked me up. I was like, wow, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, when they killed that woman who did not turn back into a Skrull.
Right. It's like, oh, shit, that's the real fucking prime minister.
Oh yeah, well, not like we've ever done this before in history.
Yeah. So I mean that I kind of get, but if you put it out 2 more episodes, right? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna get a couple more 30-minute episodes?
No, I mean that's the thing. I'd rather not hour-long episodes. But
right. I mean, you add 2 more episodes. What do you do to these last 3 episodes that got shortened to 30 minutes apiece?
Right.
There was, episode 3 was 43. Where is it? Episode 4 starts shrinking to 36, 39, and then the finale was 37 minutes.
37 minutes for a finale.
That kind of bothered. So the way that I do my timing, the credits.
I think bothered people.
Yeah,
like, it's a fucking finale.
It's a finale. It shouldn't have been 37.
Longer than 37
it should have been
minutes.
longer.
When you start off with almost an hour for the first 2 episodes.
Right, but
now,
again,
you could have done an hour in that last episode.
But here's the thing, though, and again, I never. Even though they were like 30 odd minutes, I didn't feel like they were short episodes. Like, I wasn't like, because trust me, there's been other shit that we've watched. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I wasted that. That's how we ended this. That's how we end this episode. I never felt like that then. Like, at the end of every episode, I was like, oh, okay. Couple things I was like, that was a little long drawn. Like when he's putting his fucking uniform back on.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you have everything? You have an eye patch under one, the fucking hat under. Dude, just put it all into one little briefcase.
One thing. So
one briefcase. You hit your fucking, you do your eye, boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, and everything's
briefcase
in
comes
one.
out and everything's in one.
Yeah.
Batman can do it. Why can't you?
Yeah, what are you doing?
No, you put everything in 6 different fucking behind 6 different headstones.
It's not like a gun in your house. You put the revolver in one, you put the bullets in the other.
Right. No, in this one he's got
where's the bullets? They're in the living room. He's in the living room.
Yeah, like on this one he's got the gun in one, he's got his eye patch in another, he's got his hat in one, he's got his jacket in another. I'm like, dude, what the fuck, really? Oh, and by the way, that's all inside the vault. But the serum, the serum's outside the vault.
Yes.
Would it be the other way around? That just makes more sense to me.
I mean, it does, unless you kind of think like nobody would have checked the fucking headstone like that. You ever think a headstone would just lift up like that?
Well, yeah, he had to breathe on it.
Yeah.
DNA. That was a little like, man.
You need a little, fury breath.
You need a little fury hot breath.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What else did I want to talk about? Yeah.
I don't know why I thought we'd see some Valentina in this one. Not really sure.
Speaking of Valentina, who is that lady?
I don't know.
So we see her in the first episode because he goes to her.
Yeah.
Right, and I thought that was actually so the banter. That's something I want to hit on too. The banter that Nick Fury has with certain people is really fucking good. Like the banter that he has with her is absolutely hilarious.
Oh yeah.
So she's got to be some high up, like I don't know, man.
MI6 type person.
MI6, OSS, CIA.
Yeah.
Like she knows shit because. She's going up when she went up to that guy in the office, and he's like, "Do you know who I am?" She goes, "Oh, of course I do." And she shoots him, and he goes, "Oh, yep, that just proves what you are."
Yep.
So it's like, all right, so you know about all these Skrulls.
Yes.
So you know about everything. So are you S.H.I.E.L.D.? Are you some rogue Black Bag Ops with S.H.I.E.L.D.? And that's why Fury knows you. Does Fury lean on you for stuff? So I don't know what the deal is with her.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, now that she and Guy are together, I wonder if we'll see them more or where we'll see them together again. Yeah, which
I think that we will. And again, I think that the setup was done well. I I don't know why this only got 13%. I mean, I really don't, because I liked a lot of things in it.
Yeah, that ending, I think, just really sort of tweaked people along the wrong way. And part of it was the overuse of powers between the Super Skrulls and, you know, the fight scene. And it just, like, they have everybody's fucking powers now. Or at least now she does. Like, okay, so now she's the most powerful character.
But again, like,
what the hell do they do with that?
What are they gonna? Yeah, how are they gonna use her? You know, because she killed.
Like I said, it's out there now.
Yeah,
you have this nuke. Like, what the fuck do you do with it? You don't do anything with it. Like, you have to. Like, you can't just put that out in the unit, the MCU, and never use it again. And because you have to. Like, no, we fucking know that exists.
Yeah, you got to use it.
You know you'd pull that out. Shit starts hitting the fan. You know you're going to call and be like, hey, we need you. But if you never do, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's stupid.
I like that. I like the setup, though. I honestly had no idea that was Gaia. I thought it was Nick Fury. And I'm like, dude, what? Like, what is it? Oh, I write, Fury really went in there knowing how strong the radiation is without any kind of protection. Like, on the watch, I'm like, this is really pissing me off. But they played it off well. Like, he's coughing, he's got the pills. That come clean moment with them inside that I thought was done really, really. The guy that plays the actor that played Kravik.
Yeah.
I really liked him.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole fucking series, like, you see how Billy badass he really is.
Absolutely.
And honestly, that come clean moment and how Kravik acted, I'm like, I get it. I could see why he's so pissed off. And he's like, you know, you promised us. And that's how rebellions start.
Yeah.
Right? That's how we get this other wings. And so it's that not holier than thou, or I could do, it's like, I'm trying to protect my species. I gave you everything. We were just your fucking minions. We were your pawns. So fuck you. I mean, not for nothing, that's the Revolutionary War, right?
Right.
So, I mean, when I saw that, I was like, I get it. Mm-hmm. Like, that was, for me, that's where I need Bruno. I thought that was some good writing.
There you go.
You know, because you gave me some dialogue, you gave me something, you gave me the angst, a real angst, not just, I want my species to be better than yours, you know, because we see him as a little kid, and she even said, she was like, Nick, he's special, like, this kid has something in him, right? So they saw that he could be a great leader, but he needed to be done, you know, it needed to be groomed the right way. Instead, he gets to the end, and he's like, dude, you just got me fucking killing all these fucking people, like, I'm just your fucking errand boy, like, what the fuck? So I get it, and he made me feel his angst, and I was like,
I mean, that's a good villain, right? When you can see and you almost not actually agree, but you feel their pain. You understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah. You know, and then when he fucking soups himself up, I'm like, oh man. And then he goes to punch fucking Nick Fury, and Nick Fury stops. I'm like, oh, does it do something to humans?
Yeah.
What does it do to humans? I, again, still have no fucking idea that it's... And then when Nick Fury morphs into fucking Guy, I was like, holy shit.
But she had to go somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Again, a lot of misdirection in this.
Yeah.
And I'm...
Which is great for a spy.
It's a spy movie, you know.
It's all about misdirection.
So then it's like, well, wait a minute, because when they're having their come clean moment, it goes back and forth between that place and the hospital. So you see all the people getting hit, and I'm like, who the fuck's?
Yeah, who's taking all these people?
All these people
from the background? You never see the person.
So you just see that woman. I'm like, did she just take out all these people? And then all of a sudden, it's Nick Fury walks in. I'm like, no, what the fuck happened? Yeah. So dude. I only have a couple bad things, and that was the shitty speech that the president gave. You know,
I mean, shitty in what way, right? Like, he's kind of like, it's just shitty because, like, wow, that's kind of a sucky thing to do. But
what I didn't understand is he knows, like, they didn't tell him to tell us, like, the reason why he survives because of Talos. Like, he knows that they're not all bad,
right?
So why is he saying that they're all bad? That's what I didn't understand. Like, Nick Fury is fucking married to a Skrull. I'm pretty sure that he was like,
listen. He probably didn't tell anybody that.
Well, no, I mean,
who knows that?
Well, right, that I understand, but I mean, for him to turn around, you know, and tell the person, hey, listen, man, they're not all like that. You know, just like regular people. There are shitty people, there are really good people. There are shitty Skrulls, there's really good Skrulls. Don't sweat it. Like, we need to try to do something. Instead, he lets him go off and do this big fucking spiel about how we have to kill all the fucking Skrulls. Like, oh, great. I mean, I understand that you need
Part of it you understand because they've just been with us for so long, infiltrating.
Yeah.
And basically essentially taking over. So it's kind of hard to be like, well, there might be some good ones out there.
Like,
when the only thing you know of them is everybody who's been taking over and your government and everybody else and impersonating and kidnapping people and causing a war and causing wars. I mean, essentially what they were doing, right? They were instigating wars between people, kind of like being like, "Hey, you want you two fight and fuck off," right? They're starting shit between nations this whole time, right?
Yeah.
So that's all you really know about them. It's like, okay, yeah, your species kind of sucks. You need to go.
Yeah.
And you know what? And to clean house, to get rid of all the bad people, some of the good ones need to go too. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Because we don't really have. Because you guys, the bad ones are bad enough. We don't really have time to sort you all out and put you in two different. You're the good people. You're the bad people.
Right.
Y'all just need to go. You weren't invited here. You need to go.
Yeah.
Right. But that's a.
You told me there was only a handful. Now there's a fucking million.
Million. Right.
All of you. You're all here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This can't happen.
This is not good. This is not good. Right.
So I mean,
because you feel like that's a dangerous enough amount.
Yeah.
And they will lose control.
And they could be anybody.
Right.
Fucking
we'll
anybody.
lose control of the earth, and then it's now yours.
Yeah,
and we're working for you now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
I like going back to the last episode. They gave us the idea of now we're gonna have Scree versus Scree. We're gonna have the Kree versus Skrull.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have their peace talks supposedly, right? So you see they're gonna try to. That's another story arc, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna see that. I like that. I liked how they answered the question about Rhodes, though, because when we find out that he is a Skrull, and you're like, what? First of all, I kind of laughed because it's a woman. It's a woman Skrull.
Yeah.
I was like, ha ha, Rhodey's a chick.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. But
once again, the opinions of ranters and not necessarily the opinions of entertainment rants.
when they finally when Gaia frees them all, right? He's like in his hospital gown, right?
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, and then the other guy there that was next to him what's his name? Ross.
Yeah,
the guy that plays Ross. Yeah. He looks over, he goes, Colonel Rhodes, and Rhodey just kind of looks at him like, what the fuck? He goes, how long have you been here? And he's like, and he's been there so long that even Gaia says, she's like, Colonel Rhodes, you've been here for a very long time. Let us help you walk out of it. Like, he can't stand on his own 2 feet.
Yeah.
So that tells us he's been in there fucking forever.
They say since Civil War.
So that's what my next question was going to be.
That's the director said.
Okay, so I saw something that came up with director. So since Civil War.
Which is when he became paralyzed.
Oh shit, that's right.
That's when Vision shot him out of the sky. And he fell and became paralyzed. So was that him at the end when he's trying to rewalk? Or was that a Skrull? When he's doing the whole, Tony Stank. Thanks for that. I like that. I'm going to use that. Tony Stank, table for two.
Oh. Stanked. Son of a bitch. Fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering.
So when they take him to the hospital to help, that's when they exchanged him out. Because that's why he was wearing a hospital gown.
Yeah.
Because everybody else was just wearing their clothes they got abducted in.
Right. He had a hospital gown.
So he had a hospital gown on.
So that's when he was in the hospital. So that makes perfect sense.
When he was paralyzed.
That makes perfect sense. See? That's some good fucking writing. See that, Bruno? Good writing.
There it is.
There it is.
They brought it back all the way to Civil War. These many years later, they tied it in. And it's seamless. Like, okay, that it's very easy to say, that definitely could have been Rhodey, or that could have been a Skrull.
Yeah.
Who's pretending to learn how to walk with the animatronic legs, you know what I mean? Because a while after that, he's just walking around normal again.
Walk around normal, yeah.
Oh, great. Wow, that was a quick heal from paralyzation. Like, good job. Good on you.
Yeah. So that was a Skrull, though. Fuck. I mean, again.
It's been a Skrull the whole time since then.
It makes perfect sense. And again, I liked how they did that. Telling me that, it happened at the hospital. Oh, okay, so I'm just going to take your word. But then showing him in the hospital gown, and you're like, oh, fuck, that's what it was. All right, so, see, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. But again, that whole place is covered in radiation, right? All these humans are just walking around normal?
No.
What do you mean, no?
What do you mean? Like
when
that
they free
room
them all. Huh?
When that room, you mean the room downstairs with the big thing?
No, when they outside.
Yeah.
When they walk them all out. That place is covered in radiation. How are none of them getting affected?
The whole area was covered with radiation?
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That wasn't like basically Chernobyl.
Yes.
Yeah.
That whole place was covered in radiation.
That's why the Skrulls could stay there, because it didn't affect them.
Yes, because remember, again, when we think it's when we think it's Nick Fury, and he starts coughing when he first gets it, he hits his thing, the little radiation thing, and it hits to the yellow. So that's like some
attacks.
Yeah, so it's like that's some dangerous shit, and they're all like, "Ah," I didn't like that. I'm like, wait a minute. Again, whole place is covered in radiation.
Everybody's just like, I'm out.
I'm out. I'm out of here, bitches. Peace.
I'm glad you took care of the radiation before we got out.
But yeah, I mean, it was like small things like that kind of took me out a little bit. But overall, fuck all those people that are crying about giving it a 13% and fucking. I get the whole Super Skrull being super fucking powerful. But
it wasn't Super Skrull, it was a Super Duper Skrull.
Yeah, it's a Super Duper Skrull. But again, it all depends on what they do with this character.
Yeah.
The way that they make it look like it's, guy is just gonna kind of play fucking middle ground.
Yeah.
What's her name? Sonya was like, hey, I use you, you use me. Fucking, we use each other to get what we need to get done, and we'll just. Well, it's going to be business, right? Because she was like, yeah, my father tried that with Nick Fury. She was like, yeah, but they liked each other.
Yeah, that was like a love story of those two idiots.
Yeah, we don't need to like each other. This is strictly business, and, and that's it. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, look, by her killing Kravik, we know that they can be killed.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, the Super Skrulls can, yeah.
So it's not like...
But they were the only two, right? Weren't they really the only two Super Skrulls?
Right, that have that.
Yeah.
But again, so she basically turned into fucking Captain Marvel.
And everybody else.
Right, but at the end though, you see like shit hit him with a photon blast.
Yeah.
So we know that, okay, well that's the thing that's probably gonna be able to kill her if she gets out of line.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that Captain Marvel is fucking at arm's reach or beeper reach. Like, hey, bitches.
And we'll see what happens in the Marvels when that movie comes out.
Exactly. So.
Which I'm actually looking forward to seeing.
I am too, because Miss Marvel, I was late to that. I finally watched that.
Yeah.
And that was a fun little watch. It was a quick watch. I liked it.
So let's get into that, because we chewed up Secret Invasion, but it doesn't mean we have to stop talking about it. But there's so many now Marvel streaming shows.
Yeah.
Where does Secret Invasion lie within your realm of these?
Wow.
We have your Moon Knight, you have your Hawkeye, you have your She-Hulk.
She-Hulk was even worse. God, that's something that we never did, and we all agreed that we never will.
Yes.
I've got notes on that too, but fuck. I don't know. For me, this was a fun watch. I'm gonna put up like my top 3-ish, maybe. No, not that it's that hard to do. It really isn't.
But it was a nice divergence. Yeah. From the standard, Yeah,
I mean, I love
Moon Knight, which I love Moon Knight.
So here's the thing, though. Is not what puts this really up there for me though is there's not one episode that I was like I didn't like it or it really dragged. And
it didn't seem like any film. It was 6 episodes. You hope there's not a filler.
Right.
We've said that before though, and there still are.
It's facts. But again, there's no filler. It was action front to back. Okay, cool. Even the short episodes didn't make me feel like they were short episodes. Yeah. And some of these other series, they were definitely, it's not like they were that much longer. 8 fucking episodes. Okay. Yeah. So if you took that 8 and made it into 6 and got rid of the bullshit, how do we feel about those?
Right.
A
little tighter.
Yeah. So, but some of those other series, they had shit episodes. And I was like, that fucking episode sucked.
Yeah.
So that in itself puts this one in front of that. Like Hawkeye. Hawkeye wasn't that great. It wasn't that bad, but there were definitely episodes I was like the whole car chase episode.
Yeah.
And I say the car chase episode because that whole fucking episode was him in the fucking in the warehouse there. He fucking attacked all the guys, and then there was the fucking 20-minute car chase, and then was
with the giant arrow.
With the giant arrow, right? And then it was and that was the end of the episode. Like that episode fucking sucked.
Yeah, it was a filler. Useless
so it's like, all right, you take that out of it. Kind of same thing with Loki. Like Loki was pretty cool. I like Loki.
Yeah, I enjoyed Loki. I'm looking forward to the next one.
I am too. I'm actually I haven't been reading a lot of the what's his name? Jonathan Majors stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, are they reshooting it? Did they keep him?
They haven't decided yet because it hasn't really quite come to fruition of what's going to happen with him.
Right.
In terms of his legal stuff.
Legal stuff. Right. So I mean, was that bullshit?
So what surprises me, and I think it doesn't with everything going on, but just the fact that he's been accused and things like that, like, I'm surprised Disney hasn't, like, distanced themselves. In the past, I think they've been quick to distance themselves and then sometimes regret it.
That's why.
But he's also such a major portion of what they have planned for the next, like, 10 years. So, like, they really, you know what I mean? They're really shooting themselves in the foot. That being said, you can fucking recast actors if you need to.
Yeah, but then that's when you get your 13%.
It does. It does happen. But I mean, obviously, you know, God forbid something awful happened to him, or he does go to prison or whatever, something like, you know, you got to recast. What the hell are you going to do? You're going to rewrite the entire thing. Now Kang is not a thing.
Yeah, right.
After you just spent all this time introducing him and putting Quantumania and everything like that.
Yeah, no, I
can't do it. Now, you know, don't get me wrong. He's an unbelievable actor, and I'd like to see him go forward with it. Yeah. But if you can't, you can't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, they're not going to release it because, well, they did the same thing to Johnny Depp, and Johnny Depp owns that fucking Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Yeah. So they dump him, and he's like, go fuck it, that aunt. Oh.
But now he might come back.
Right, because...
Until he got, like, caught drunk at a hotel in, like, London or wherever. And they're like, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But you know what, though? But that's...
We'll see what happens.
That aspect of it...
shit together.
But that aspect of it, Johnny Depp has always been like that. So that's nothing fucking new.
I know.
But now that the shit with him and Amber Heard there, you know, because that was on everybody's fucking television, we've seen more in depth into it.
Yeah.
Now it's like, it's one thing for that person to be that person in their own time. That's... Yeah. You know, I don't see it, doesn't bother me. Well, now it's all over my TV, and I know everything about it. So every time he steps out, the poor fucking guy, like, he's in, everybody's like, oh, well, what's Johnny Depp doing? Johnny Depp's being a fucking regular guy getting hammered at a fucking hotel. Yeah. He probably owns the hotel. Who gives a fuck? Let him be. Whatever. Yeah. You know, he just had his ex-wife try to.
Well, I think he missed like something. Like he missed like an appointment. Like he missed like a show or something like that.
Probably.
He's got a band.
I know. Oh,
and
I know.
He missed the show.
Yeah, the Hollywood Vampires. I know.
He missed the show because he was drunk. So they're like, that might be not so good.
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens. I hope he does get back to the franchise.
Yeah.
Disney's got so many other issues going on right now with Iger basically having a yard sale with all their shit.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, we talked about this.
Pissed at him anyway.
Yeah, but he's
with the whole AI stuff.
But he's selling off things that are like 3%. So when people say, "Oh my God, he's selling off," you know, parts of Disney. Yeah, in India, because they lost the contract for. We were talking about this.
Yeah.
They were showing cricket. They were showing. They had the cricket license, so everybody was watching their version of Disney Plus because of the cricket matches. Once they lost that contract, everybody was like, well, fuck. I was watching that because of cricket. You lost the cricket matches. I don't need to watch you anymore. It's like Amazon owning the NFL coverage. Okay, well, I'm going to get Amazon because I want to watch those Thursday night games. Once those Thursday night games, if you lose that contract, then I don't want to watch. I'm not going to buy you anymore.
Right.
So when they're talking about like he's getting rid of it, it's and I hate to use the term, but he's cutting away the fat. Like we're not. Hey, you know what? That market was only giving us 2% of our total sales. Oh, so I cut off 2% of fat. All right, cool, whatever. It's I mean, and that's the business aspect, and I don't want to make it sound like that I don't feel bad for because that's a lot of jobs and things like that. Like trust me, I get that, but I got to play devil's advocate. You got to
it's still a business.
It's still a business, and. I think that's why Iger got brought back. Mm-hmm. He got brought back to try to tighten things up.
Yeah, I mean, Disney wasn't really as profitable as it was when he was running the show. Like, he had some of the most profitability when he was in charge.
Yep.
And after him, it just wasn't nearly as profitable. So, like, well, fuck, we got to bring the guy back who made us that way.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I would do the same thing,
Yeah.
And it's just like anything, he's going to go through his trials of like, you're switching things up and oh shit, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Where people like have a hard time trusting, like, remember what he did last time he was in charge and how profitable it was.
Right.
But to do that, you have to shake the shit. You have to shake the grass to startle the, to startle the snakes, because the people who were in charge before him put a lot of shit in the grass.
Yep.
So he has to shake it out. He's going to shake out the trees a little bit to get rid of some crap that the last people put in place. You know what I mean? Then it's going to suck a little bit, and it's going to seem like he doesn't know what he's doing, but he does. So you got to kind of trust a little bit. Then there's the AI stuff and everybody picketing. That's the strikes going on. That's another
right. I mean that's another tough thing too. It's you have the strike that's going on, so that's just going to put a kibosh. And that's just not. That just that's just in general, and it's like, man, why I don't understand how this happens every few years. It's you have guys that are getting paid $100 million a picture. Like I was just looking up, and it's like you have Tom Cruise that gets paid $100 million for the picture. We can't pony up the money for some of these other people. You know,
it's so unbalanced. But it's not just the Tom Cruises, right? It's the studio heads. It's those people that are really collecting the bank, and then and the bigger stars too. But the stars are kind of working together, and they're like, yeah, you need to pay these. But the bigger problem is they're worried about the low-paying people are going to just end up losing their jobs altogether.
Yeah.
Because the AI is just going to end up replacing them.
Yeah.
They just take their likenesses and own their likenesses, and they can drop them in with the AI whenever they fucking feel like it and not pay them anything. So the problem is you have all these contracts and all these things that are written before this technology is invented. Well, now the technology's here, motherfucker. You better rewrite that shit.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them for wanting to stand up for themselves. Like, you're going to fucking replace all these people. People got to start losing their jobs and shit because technology is going to replace them. Is it going to replace them completely? No, I don't think so. But do I understand why they're nervous about it? Fuck yes.
Yeah.
I understand completely why they're nervous about it. But, like they said, the tractor didn't replace it. It cleaned up some people's shit and made it a little bit more efficient for the farmers to do what they did, but it didn't really replace people. Do you know what I mean? They still needed people. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they're not gonna. It's not gonna get rid of them entirely, but it can definitely make some of their jobs a little bit more difficult right out the gate. I think that just with everything else and every other new technology, as time goes on, and I don't think it will be that much time. I think that everybody will just grow accustomed to it, and they will just they work around it and they figure out how to work with it, and like, all right, cool. Well, this is how we're gonna do it.
It kind of ups your game though.
It better,
in our respect, like when we in our business for the karate school, we switched from a 6-month or 1-year contract model to a month-to-month.
Yeah.
And the catalyst behind that, or the driving force behind that, was just like, if you have somebody on a 1-year contract, you can fucking skate for 11 months on no teaching. Like, yeah, this is how we teach, and fucking deal with it. I got you on contract. And you're not going any fucking way. You're paying me next month.
It keeps you honest as a business.
But it's month to month. My last class is got to be the best fucking class I ever taught, because tomorrow you're either one step closer to the black belt or one step closer to quitting.
Yeah.
So if I don't give you the fucking best service today, tomorrow you can write me a fucking email going, yeah, we're quitting tomorrow because we can.
Your last class can be your last
class, right? Yeah. So I have my team, myself. We always have to be constantly striving to be better than we were yesterday.
Yep.
So it keeps us fucking honest. You know what I mean? That's why we did it, because we want to be the best in the area. We want to be the best at what we do. And if we have that, cushion to relax on,
it happens.
It's so easy to fall back on that.
Well, absolutely.
So now we don't. And we did that on purpose. That was a calculated move that we made.
It's pretty smart.
We always want to keep striving. So there it is.
I think you guys are all right.
Yeah, we do okay. We do all right.
Right.
We do all right. So anyway, there's that. So Marvel cinematic, Marvel streaming shows, too many of them. I know they're slowing it down a little bit. I haven't heard hiding your hair what's happening with Echo. I think last heard they're just dumping it all at one time. It's gonna be like a 1-day drop, the entire series.
Okay.
They're not doing a weekly.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are going to be really clamoring week to week on that one.
No.
I'll watch it because why not?
Absolutely.
I'll probably binge it over a couple of days and be done with it.
I'm not, that's definitely not one that I would be like, oh, let me watch it every week.
Right, because if I miss it, I'm in. But if I'll watch over a couple of days, I'll binge it and be done with it.
I do feel like that they've spread them out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we're still waiting for fucking Loki season 2.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right.
Well, now with the strike and stuff like that, things are going to be a little bit harder to come by.
So that's the thing but even prior to the strike, like, I feel that there was a long time before let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get it out here.
Well, I think part of it is a lot of other things kind of have to happen because it delves a lot into what happens with Jonathan Majors, what happens with Kang.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is the Kang part of it. So, and from my understanding, some of it might be in dealing with Deadpool 3.
Oh.
Like, a little bit is kind of like this Deadpool 3 movie is gonna be pretty fucking cool when it finally comes out. You saw the actual Wolverine costume, which was badass.
I'm okay with that.
I don't think they needed the sleeves, but okay, I'll deal with that. But
here's the thing. So I wish I fucking kept it. I saw there was an image, And somebody had posted, somebody that I follow, one of the many people that I follow on Instagram was like, oh yeah, everybody's complaining about how he hasn't had a comic book accurate.
It's pretty accurate. No, it's pretty accurate.
So the meme was, people complaining that Wolverine hasn't had a comic book accurate outfit. And it shows like 6 different ones that he's already had, and it's like, oh shit, I guess so. It's like, oh, and everybody wants to complain that he has sleeves, and it showed like 6 other like comic book that he has sleeves.
Well, people think about the most common iterations,
and that's
the most well-known ones, the Jim Lee, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? The original, the basically the uncanny stuff. The most common ones, the yellow and blues, the brown and gold, like those are the most common ones. There are no sleeves, and we've never seen those versions.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yes, you're right. There's a lot of uncanny. There's a lot of different iterations. You're absolutely astonishing X-Men. Tons of different iterations, X-Force and whatever. He's had a million different costumes. Like a lot of characters, especially in the X-Men universe.
Oh yeah, he's had
constantly changing uniform.
Yeah.
But so you're right. There's definitely, especially with the Logan stuff and all that kind of stuff, when he's just wearing like the hat and the leather jacket and jeans and shit like that. You've seen that before. You're absolutely right. But I think for the average fan, the person who hasn't like followed because shit, X-Men, there's a million fucking titles, and Wolverine is not only an X-Men, but he's floated.
Yeah, he's been in so many different groups,
teams and his own series and shit like that. Like, how the hell do you keep up with every iteration, every look that Wolverine's ever had? You know what I mean? So what do you base it on? You base off the common ones and seen since you've been reading. You know what I mean? And we've never really seen the more common versions. So I think that's what people are kind of griping about, and we'd like to see that. If you're gonna do it, stop getting so freaky. Stop going deep cuts, and give us one of the main tracks, will you?
Yeah,
give us some of the big hits.
And I think that's part of it too. It's like going on,
But this one's a pretty big hit costume. This one's a pretty. It's an iteration of one of the big hits.
That's kind of why I went with the blue and yellow.
Yeah, it's a big hit costume.
Because we've seen the golden brown. We've seen that in the briefcase.
We never actually start on him.
I know, but they teased it. I was like, oh my god, if we get that.
Oh, I would love that.
Because again, that's.
But we still haven't seen him in the helmet and mask. Even in this new one, I haven't seen an image of him wearing it. I've seen the costume, but not the mask or the helmet.
Not the mask. I mean, who knows? So. I was reading it somewhere too that this is basically Deadpool 3. They're using it to fucking kill off the Fox universe.
Yeah, it's basically Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, but like the Fox universe.
The Fox universe.
Kill off the Femke Jacksons and then the Patrick Stewart and everybody.
See you later. Bye bye.
Just killing off. Finally, all right, so we can stop thinking these people are coming into the MCU. I'm just gonna kill them all the fuck off.
Yeah.
So Wolverine's obviously going to stop him from that. You know what I mean?
Let's see.
It looks like in some of the previous stuff that he's fighting Wolverine.
Right. All right, so I've got from Secret Invasion. I got the release on some of the Disney Plus shows.
All right.
So we got Secret Invasion that just came out. According to this now, which is a variety. Loki season 2 is October 6th.
Okay.
The Marvels is November 10th.
Yes.
Echo is November 29th. Deadpool is May 3rd of next year. Now, again, it's 24.
For now, until, we'll see what the strike does.
I mean, you're right.
It is very possible the strike will push things back even further. A lot of the productions have had to stop.
Captain America is in July, so it's next summer. I think that's going to be a good release.
I'm looking forward to that one. I miss the Steve Rogers, but I'm looking forward to the Sam Wilson.
We'll see. I don't know.
Red Hulk.
So that's kind of what I'm waiting for, right? Because I read it prior already that in New World Order is where you get to see the Thunderbolts, and we're gonna see them. So I'm like, all right, cool. So you're gonna bring us down that path. Thunderbolts is next December. So that takes us.
Right, New World Order leads into Thunderbolts.
Exactly.
Whether it's in there or at the end or something, we get something out of it.
And then for shows, we have Ironheart 24. It doesn't give us really a time. Covenant of Chaos, Agatha, 24.
I hear they possibly changing the name on that one.
Of which one?
Agatha. Because we might be getting, unfortunately, more Scarlet Witch back. I know. I was reading about it today, and I'm like, what the fuck? Don't get me wrong. Love her, but that's a fucking enough. Like, after that last one, after the last, Doctor Strange, I'm like, nothing against her, man, but, like, I want something else.
I think
I need something else. I need a different villain. I need a different antagonist. You kind of get fatigued.
Give me Magneto.
It's almost the same with the Loki fatigue. Like, fuck. And I love he's awesome. He's great as that character, but for a while, like, he was in every fucking movie.
So
he's causing shit and everything.
But I think that a big part of that is Marvel took the name superheroes and pushed those because that's what they sold everybody with, right? Because everybody knows Captain America, everybody knows Iron Man, everybody knows Thor, okay? With those big names, we're going to introduce some of the B characters. Now, is Loki a B character? Unless you're
have a B villain.
Yeah, right. So it's like, but I'm like, unless you're really up Thor's ass, you don't really care for Loki. Like, I knew who Loki was. I wasn't a big Thor fan to begin with anyway.
Yeah.
I knew who Loki was. Give or take, it didn't bother me. So I think that's part of the problem too, is that they start to introduce all these B-level people, and they're phase fucking 3 and 4 has been all these B characters. So I'm like, I really don't give a fuck about any of these people. I truly don't.
But it's hard. Like, and
I'm sorry, but Wanda is one, and so is fucking Vision. The two of them, I know that they were fucking part of the original Avengers. I get that, or the second phase of Avengers. I get that. I really don't give a fuck about them though, because for me,
I love Vision. I've always been a Vision fan.
For me, the Avengers were the core people. Like, maybe not even really Hulk when he got in. I was like, nah, because She-Hulk becomes an Avenger too. Spider-Man actually bounces around. He was Fantastic Four as well. And I'm sorry.
So does She-Hulk.
Right? She-Hulk goes over to Fantastic Four too. But like, unless it's like the main people, I don't care. And because they gave us. Phase 3, phase 4, maybe a little phase 5 too. They gave us all the B characters. Fuck you! I don't care about Wanda. I don't need a show.
But what do you do?
You give me fucking Magneto. You give me a super villain again. That's the arc. Honestly, as much as
that we can.
Well,
obviously we couldn't do a Magneto. We couldn't do a lot of the X-Men stuff.
As much as the Kang stuff, I kind of want to see again. That's a story arc that I'm not really.
I couldn't care. I'm not a big Kang fan. I don't give a shit about Kang. I'd rather see a Magneto. I'd rather see a Dr. Doom. I'd rather see some of those other guys.
Yeah.
If you gave me a list of the villains, Kang was not up there on my list of like, I want to see a good Kang story. I get it. He's super powerful. He's a super threat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's so many different versions of him
the Magneto threat. Like, we did a lot of the X-Men stuff, so already, not with Marvel MCU, but we've seen a lot of Magneto threat. We've seen a couple of iterations of Doctor Doom, never of them done well.
Never of them
done properly, but like, we've seen it. So we got to wait a little bit to see a good Doctor Doom. So, all right, we're going to kick you into Kang, which we've never seen before. Yep. And he's a major villain in the MCU. So, okay, I get it. And when you talk about multiverse, you have to talk about Kang.
Yep.
Because there's so many of them come from the multiverse that you have to see, have to deal with.
But I think that was a reactionary thing. It's okay. So now Disney owns all these properties. People are clamoring for all these other properties. How do we tie them in? How do we do this? Yeah. We have to introduce a multiverse in order, because now we own these properties, right?
Yep.
We have to introduce a multiverse of some shape, way, or form to get these characters into our canon. Yeah. Well, fuck. How do we do that?
Right. Because how do you do this all the time when everybody can't be brand new?
Right.
Because you've been doing all this bullshit where was the Fantastic Four this whole time?
Right. So
during the blip, where were they?
Where were they? Right. So I mean, I think that's why.
Where were the mutants and shit like this whole fucking time?
I think Kang, the Kang story arc is a victim of circumstance. It's a byproduct of how do we get everybody over here? It's following the steps, which I'm okay with it. That's the way that they're doing it, and I understand it. I don't want to spend the next 10 fucking years with it though. Like we spent 10 years getting to Thanos.
I know.
Which they did very well, because that was the introductory years, right? They introduced us to all these superheroes. They gave us the story. Amazing story.
But they gave it to you with A-list characters too. Right. They gave it with A-list superheroes. So.
Now we're stuck with Kang, and we're stuck with this multiverse.
With a bunch of B-listers.
With a bunch of B-listers that they're trying to push down our throats, and I'm like, fuck you.
Tony's gone.
Yes.
Cap's gone. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of the people are gone. Like, Hulk's nerfed.
super nerfed.
Super nerfed. Super nerfed. We'll see what happens when Red Hulk appears.
So that's what I'm wondering. Do we get Hulk back? Yeah, do we get good Hulk back? Because we need real Hulk to fight fucking...
A real Hulk that could actually fight Red Hulk.
We need to
because
fight
the current
Red
Hulk could not.
Right. There's no fucking way.
No.
I mean, I think Ant-Man could beat, like, new Hulk.
Yeah, he's a puss at this point. There's no way. But now we get his son involved.
I was just going to say, now we got his kid, right? So are they going to do the... So now are they going to be able to do the World War Hulks? Which I thought that I saw somewhere that...
Yeah, it sounded like they were going to come out.
So... There's all these. I mean, that's the thing with comic book movies, right? It's you're doing all these shows and movies off of things that are already there. They're already written. So there's not a lot of thinking so much about plot and story arc. Follow the plot, follow story arc. Be writers and write a good story live action because you have to.
Yep.
But it's all your storyboard is done.
Yeah.
Your storyboard's already done. Be writers. Create off of that storyboard that's already created for you. So.
Yeah, and to their credit, they've had to redo the storyboards to some degree.
Yeah.
Based off the licenses they had available to pick and choose from. You couldn't have done Civil War exactly the way the comics were done.
There's no
because you didn't have Spider-Man really, you know what I mean? Like your own, you couldn't have done exactly the way until you dealt with Sony and dealt with that property.
Which
you know what I mean? And everything else. There's a lot of characters missing off that roster, you know?
Oh my God, yeah, there is.
So, again, and hopefully Secret War, by the time we get to Secret Wars... Hopefully we've solved a lot of this problem. Because at this point, Spidey's really the only one that's a problem.
Yeah.
Everybody else is back.
Yeah.
So, we got Hulk back. We got everybody else back. The X-Men, everybody else is back. So when you get to Secret Wars, it's just really dealing with the Spidey issue.
And dealing with Sony going, what are we going to do here? Which is...
Which it sounds like they're still after playing around and playing well with and they're doing all their own shit, but they're still kind of like...
Sony realizes we're going to make a fucking ton of money. We own all these
They're making their movies, make some with Marvel, things like that. You're going to make a ton of money either way. Yeah. Either way, you're backing up the Brinks trucks.
Let Marvel do what they need to do with those characters that you fucking own. Yeah. It's kind of like, hey, you're the landlord. Let them rent the apartment.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did you see the what do you call it, Kraven?
I did see that trailer. I don't know, man.
We hadn't talked about this. We hadn't talked about this off the air either.
No, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah. That's how memorable it is.
Well, the thing about the Spider-Man, so talk about rogues galleries. Yeah. Spider-Man has a shitload of fucking people.
Spider-Man and Batman have the two. If you look at numbers, they have the two biggest in Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
Like number to number, it's known that Spider-Man and Batman rival each other as biggest rogues galleries in their respective universes or titles.
Spidey's beating up a lot of fucking people. Yep. Kraven's not one of the ones I really cared for.
I always liked Kraven. I don't really know why I liked Kraven. I don't really like the way he was drawn. I liked him, so I was hoping they'd do him a little bit better. I'm not 100% upset with the trailer. I want to see a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's not 100% Kraven, right? Because there's certain things they just can't do. Yeah. You can't do 100% original Kraven with this one. It's 2023. There's certain things about the character that just don't fly anymore.
I mean, these characters are also drawn in fucking 1960s.
Right.
So, I mean,
it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work, right? I don't know.
It's just so it can't be original. So I'm looking for a good adaptation. You know what I mean? You have to tweak it. You have to pull some things out. You have to rearrange it a little bit. I'm hoping it works. It does well from the original core to what they brought it to, that they do the right thing by it. You know what I mean?
So for me...
give me a good story. Because, the other shit they did with, what's his name? Jared Leto when he played...
Morbius?
Morbius. Nope.
I think I've tried watching that thing like 3 times. Like I've fallen asleep.
Yeah, no, I haven't gone through it either.
The plane landed.
I haven't gone through it either.
Shut off. I mean, I don't know.
I have not finished it.
The thing about Spider-Man is, for me, like I liked Spider-Man, but again, his storylines were so fucking long because it's Rogues Gallery. Yeah. If they weren't really part of the Sinister Six, I really didn't watch it or read it. Yeah. I like the Green Goblin stuff. I like the Hobgoblin stuff. Right? It's like that shit was pretty fucking cool. We need a Hobgoblin.
We need Ned to become a Hobgoblin at some point.
I mean, I like those storylines. So the whole Kraven thing, I don't know enough about that storyline or that story arc, so I'll watch it because I want to watch a good movie.
Yeah.
I hope that that before I watch it, I don't hear about it being absolutely fucking shitty. Because that's what happened with me in Venom.
Right.
I heard all the bad shit about Venom. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm in no rush to watch it. I think I watched it like 4 years after the fact. It was like, Venom 2 had already been out before I saw Venom 1.
Right.
You know? So I hope it does decent enough that I get some decent reviews before I watch it, you know what I'm saying?
Because Sony's got like so many fucking things on the plate. Like their Spider-Man universe is like deep. They have a lot of the Madam Web, and they have like a lot of shit that they're.
Well, they want to do a lot of shit,
going deep on.
Why? Are they just trying to capitalize on it?
Yeah, they're trying to capitalize, and they have to keep it going to maintain the license. So they have to do shit.
So I get that.
And like
aspect.
you have to do stuff that pertains to the Spider-Man universe to keep the license. But then if you create just Spider-Man movies, which is what they're not doing, because then they're fucking with Marvel and Disney. And that'll get watered, that'll get muddy, because what is he doing here when he's over there? And who the fuck are we doing? And are we tapping Tom Holland too much? Because he's kind of like getting wiggy on it right now. What the fuck do you do? Because they need him over at Marvel and Disney. So you got to keep something going.
But here's the thing, though. Unless Marvel's going to do it with Sony, you know that movie's going to suck.
Yeah.
Because everyone that they've done.
In certain degrees, they have something to say about it, but it's not fully like Marvel doesn't get to do the movie.
So if Madam Web sucks, they're going to lose money on there, which it will. If Kraven sucks, who knows? We don't want to see fucking another Morbius. We don't want to see another fucking Venom. So you're doing all these movies and all these properties just to keep the fucking property for what? Just to shit on it?
We have to check. We have to do a little price check and see. You know what I mean? If you look at the Venom movies, let's give it a. Let's see. Let's go to Venom and see cost versus gross. How did the two of them do?
Right.
Were they hits? Were they bombs? We know what the statistic is. And I don't have Bruno's math here with me, but we know what the statistic is.
Okay. All right. Domestic box office, worldwide box office made $856.
What was the cost on that? Was this Venom 1?
This is Venom 1. Yeah. Why is this not
You don't know IMDb, are you? Because there's this usually.
No, I don't.
Their cost is usually pretty accurate, but their worldwide gross is usually either exactly the same as domestic or way the fuck off.
What the hell is it? Because this made $80 million its opening weekend. Holy shit.
I was clamoring for it, right?
Yeah.
So they say the budget was $100 million.
$100 million. All right, then it made some serious money then, because worldwide was $856.
Yeah, so it definitely made some money. It definitely made its.
Yeah.
It made its money back, right? It made It made more than its 2 point.
Oh God, yeah.
So it was definitely a box office.
It made it 8 times.
Yeah.
It was $100 million. They made $8 million. So
it was definitely.
They made it 8 times.
Right. It made its 2.5 like a motherfucker. But so what about the second one? Carnage. Was
Venom.
Not as good.
2.
Let there be carnage.
Budget versus gross.
So I got 110 according to IMDb, but worldwide was only 506. Still.
Worldwide. Actually, I got worldwide with 501.
Yeah, so it still was a hit according to the metrics.
I mean, it's still 2.5. So, okay,
But now let's go to Morbius.
Oh God, fucking you know what I mean? Morbius.
Let's hit the more. This is obviously very interesting radio, but humor the old guys, will you? Sons of bitches.
Budget versus gross.
So, oh boy, yeah, I don't think this quite made. There's 75 million, and I on IMDb have 167.
So the original release earned 163 million worldwide, including just 74 million domestic on a $75 million budget. So that would be a no.
No.
That'd be no.
Yeah, it's two. It doubled, but not. Yeah, not quite.
It's so no.
Not quite. Just under the wire.
Yeah, just under the wire. So it was definitely a flop. But again, like if Sony keeps doing these movies,
is that why they re-released it? So that's why they re-released it, so they can bump it up a little bit.
So no, that whole re-release, they got fucking duped.
Yeah.
They thought people really wanted
it, and then nobody went.
Like, no, nobody wants it. They were just fucking around with it. People kept saying, "Oh yeah, we want to see it again." It was like a big like ha to the movie house. They're like, "Oh yeah, we'll re-release it." Oh fuck. Nobody went. So again, you have Sony that has this property, and they have to do something in order to keep it. And I get that. But if you keep cranking and making shitty bang bang movies, dude, you're going to fucking lose the property because you can create it. I mean, they'll
lose it if they lose money. If they lose money, like they haven't necessarily lost money per se. You know what I mean? It's not been a big hit, but as long as the gross outweighs the budget, it's not a massive, runaway hit, but they're making more money than they spent on it.
Right.
So at least at that point, they're still because remember, when you do that, what they're essentially doing is also advertising for their other shit like the games.
Yeah.
The video games are going through the roof, right? Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2. They're advertising for their own games, which they make all the money on.
You
know what I mean? So the other parts of Spider-Man that they have, that they produce, they're making money on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're producing these movies that are tied into it and whatever. Venom is in the new Spider-Man game. You know what I mean? Miles Morales is in it. So, then they don't forget they have Across the Spider-Verse. Which is making money like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So they have those to fall back on. So as long as they keep producing those and doing them well, they'll hold on to the property as long as they want.
Yeah. I mean, again,
and frankly, I don't give a shit as long as they keep playing nice with Marvel and Disney and keep letting, whether it's Tom Holland, and I hope it is for a while, and whoever, and then when they finally bring in Miles Morales, which it looks like they're going to soon, whoever they get to play Miles, I hope it's, it's going to be good. I hope they pick somebody right for the role. As long as they do right by him, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care who owns them. I don't care who's playing with them. Just let them do it. Let Marvel play with it. Let Marvel make what they need to make and put them in the universe and do fucking Secret Wars, what they need to do, and put them in the black suit and make it happen.
That'd be awesome.
Make an awesome Secret Wars movie.
Fucking A, right.
Now you got everybody you want in there who can be in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think of a Secret Wars. Do you pull back Robert Downey Jr. back in? Do you pull Chris Evans back in? Alternate universe versions, whatever. Is it cheap in their story arcs, their deaths, whatever?
We always talk about this, right? I mean, essentially there's two Captain Americas. There's old Captain America and young Captain America in the same fucking universe. Mm-hmm. Old Captain America gave the shield to fucking Sam.
Yep.
So he's the new one. There's still a fucking young Captain America in that same universe because he continues on that timeline. So you can bring him in. I don't know where the fuck he's been, but you can.
What do you mean he's the young Captain America still on the timeline?
Future Captain America goes back.
Yeah.
Right?
Stayed in the past.
He stayed in the past. But there was already a Captain America there. There was already one there. So he continues on that line.
But he's frozen in ice.
Forever?
No, he's the Captain America that went back to the past.
Right.
Eventually, the Captain America that went back to the past loops past the Captain America that went back to the past. He bypasses that cap. If the time is linear in their world, right? So he bypasses that cap, and that cap goes back, and it's him. And that was just one cap again. It's the old Cap. Okay. That Cap went back. He grew up. He aged, and that was it. That was his timeline. And for a while, yes, there were two Caps.
Right.
There was one fucking around with Haley Atwell, and there was one on the ice. And there was one kind of hidden, right? Her husband.
Yeah.
When she was dying, she talks about her husband, which is really him, right? But then there was the one who was actually doing shit with the Avengers. And there was the old one in a rocking chair somewhere watching all this shit happen, watching his younger self do everything he remembers doing until he realized, okay, that me is now in the past again. I can go talk to Sam. I can now go sit on the bench and give Sam the shield that I've been holding on to all these years.
All right, thank you.
He blipped. Okay, I'm good. I can go talk to him.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. It's fucked up. When you talk about time travel shit.
I don't fucking like it because...
No, because your brain starts oozing out of your goddamn skull when you're thinking about this shit, right? Like, it's horrible.
It's fucking caca.
It is caca.
I know like
it. Great way to end it. That's right.
I know like it.
I know like it. I know like it. I know like it.
So, fuck my. So do you bring them back? Fuck them. Again, yeah, we talk about this. Like, it does cheapen their deaths.
Yeah.
So, are we going to see a Black Widow? I think we are, because in the what ifs, they bring her back.
Right.
Right. So they've already.
That's the thing with this multiverse shit. You can kind of, you can do anything.
Right, but if they use that,
you got this multiverse. There's a million Black Widows out there.
That's a cheap fucking write-off, though, and I hate that shit.
I know.
We've talked about
but
this.
But do you do that because the world wants to see a fucking badass Secret Wars where every motherfucker is in play? Or do you just, hear me out now, because you said this, do you just want to see all the B-list characters we're dealing with now, and a couple of A-list like Spider-Man, in this fucking, Secret Wars, dealing with Doctor Doom and Kang and whoever is. We'll have the mutants, we'll have the Fantastic Four by then, so we'll have some of these people in play. But the rest is just the B-list we're dealing with from now till then, because a lot of the A-lists are gone. Right, we may still have Thor if he still wants to be doing it. So I think that since we're going to use writer's liberty here, you still do all the Kang shit, you do the Secret Wars shit, you don't need the guys that we've known already, and we, instead of using them, we use the Fantastic Four. We use the mutants. We use all the new people in those wars. Which is most likely what will happen.
Yeah, and honestly, we're going to see the new Avengers in it, or the Young Avengers.
The Young Avengers, right.
So, because you've already introduced us all these characters, I don't need to see.
Right. So does that rub people, not me, not you?
Oh no, it's gonna rub people the wrong way.
It's gonna rub people the wrong way because it's Secret Wars, not really Secret Wars.
Yeah, but you know what though?
It's not the Secret Wars from the comics.
Right.
It's a new version of Secret Wars with all different characters because this is what we laid out in this universe.
Well, not for nothing, but the fucking Infinity Gauntlet, the Endgame, the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, there was like a fucking million people involved in that.
Oh,
we didn't see a million people.
No.
Adam Warlock had a huge part of the Infinity Gauntlet saga.
What did you think of that? You saw Guardians?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen that Guardians movie yet?
No.
I liked the movie. We'll get to it actually. When you've seen it, we'll do a review on it. I thought the Adam Warlock character was fucking useless.
Oh, great. So they did another useless Adam Warlock.
Oh my God, was he nerfed? And good Jesus, that guy who I forget his name who played him.
No.
Not right for that role. No, my God. What a whiny little shit. Not right for that role. I'm sorry. And I kind of like that actor.
Yeah.
Not for that role. He plays a little dorky, like on Meet the Aniston right there.
Yeah.
He was great in that role. That's his role. That's who he plays. You
want to pigeonhole him, huh?
Not Adam Warlock. That is fucking hell and gone from that character.
Yeah.
That is fucking big difference.
So when I saw the Infinity Saga and the Infinity Gauntlet Wars, so that's what I was like, hey, wait a minute. You can't have this as a fun. Now, great, at the end of it, they bring everybody. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool. But this was like a year and a half of crossovers. Yep. And this is like a big story arc. Fuck you. That's how I felt with that. That's how I felt with Civil War. I looked at Civil War, I was like, so what, we got a 6-on-6 fight?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because definitely a lot more than that. But again, it's because of the rights and what they own. Yeah. So they've already done it to us. So what? You gonna do it to me again? I know this game. I'm okay with it.
We're done with this.
So yeah, if you do Secret
15
Wars,
15 years at least.
you do Secret Wars and you don't have the Thor and Iron Man. I honestly, man, I don't want them back. I don't. Well, at least I don't want Iron Man. He's dead.
Yeah.
You killed him. You killed him. Oh yeah, but they killed Black Widow. Yeah, I know. And then we had the What If, and they brought her back.
Yeah.
So I didn't like it, but I saw what they were doing.
Yeah.
So when she comes back, I'm not gonna be super surprised.
Right.
Like, all right, you did that. You haven't done that yet with Tony Stark, and he was such a pivotal role. And I think that's another big part of it too. He was such a pivotal role in this whole, in the 10 years.
Yeah.
It surrounded him.
Yeah.
From the beginning to the fucking end, it was centered on him.
It was like his story almost, yeah.
Right. So when they killed him off, it was fucking sad. And we've seen it, shown in other movies. let it pass.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
You know,
It's got to be somebody else's story.
It's got to be. It's, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, give me Secret Wars, but, you know, do it with all the new players, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know?
And there will definitely, like I said, there'll be contingent of people that are not okay with that, but I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, and you know.
I'm not so, like, tied to the version of the comic that, like, I have to see exactly what the comic did. I want to see a Secret Wars. I want to see a version of Secret Wars because I liked the version of Endgame where, like, everybody's fucking there, right? I just like a movie like that. Yeah. I don't care who's there. I want to see all the players in. Where the players are currently, I want to see them all in the movie. I think that's just badass. I mean, look, as far as the comic book heads are getting mad at, like, I get it. You're gonna get mad at everything,
right? Well, I mean, look, I get it because that's how I felt when I first watched X-Men. I was fucking furious. I was like, "Fuck you! This is not the original X-Men."
Not the original. And what does this leather biker shit outfits
I
they're wearing?
I don't like it. I mean, what? What the fuck, dude?
Did you see that Batman costume thing I sent you?
Oh no, I didn't.
Shit.
I'll look at it after.
Shit. That's the fucking way to do it.
All right.
Give me this bullshit that the white eyes can't be a thing. A fucking cosplayer puts together a better badass Batman costume than we've ever seen, ever. And I love me the Michael Keaton costume, but he's got a better Batman costume than anybody's ever fucking put together. He's a goddamn fucking cosplayer.
Look, we know that they could do white eyes, because fucking
no, the whole
Deadpool.
costume's better. Not just the white eyes. The cowl, the whole fucking thing is better. Plus the white eyes.
All right, well, I'll look at it after I get out of here.
Fucking awesome. All right, and that's all I got to say about that. All right, there it is. Thank you, Larry.
No problem. Hey, overall, Secret Invasion, what'd you think?
I liked it.
On a scale
I
from
liked
1 to
it.
5, what are you giving this?
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah. I mean, and there are other 3.5s in there, you know, as far as the Marvel streaming movies or shows. Yeah. But I'm gonna go 3.5 on this one. I really did enjoy it because the espionage, it was different enough from the other ones that I did like it. I enjoyed it. You know, I know people bitched about the ending, but it didn't rub me the wrong way.
Right. I
just fucking liked the story. You know,
that's a good number. I'm a 3.5 to a 4, leaning closer to a 4, but I know we don't do partials, so
it's okay.
No,
Mila's not here. We know.
I know, right? I really like the show, man. You know, it was a good setup. Yeah, there was a couple things in it, but whatever the fuck. I thought that Super Skrull War fight was fucking awesome. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Liked it.
It's a good fight.
No, I love seeing Emilia Clarke in it. Honestly, that was a big cool. That was really cool for me. You know, like I wrote down my notes that I wrote. You know, she went from Mother of Dragons to Mother of Skrulls. I was like, that's fucking awesome. Yep. I'm glad that she's able to do something other than, you know, play a character that we all know her for. But she plays this one. It's like, oh shit! Like she held her own in this. Yep. So I like her as an actress. So I just thought that this was really. I thought this was good, man. 3.5 leaning towards a 4. Thank you for giving me a good series, really, to watch. You know, in lieu of all the other shit ones. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome, sweet. All right, there it is, everybody. There's your review of Secret Invasion. And a whole bunch of other Marvel shit coming up down the pike, so we appreciate it. All right. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, man.
All right, everybody. Don't forget to check us out at entertainmentrants.com or write us a note and let us know what you thought of Secret Invasion. Drop us a line at engage@entertainmentrants.com or write us a note on social media, on our posts, on our Facebook, our Instagram. Let us know what you thought of the episode, Secret Invasion, all that. Don't be afraid to write us a review on Apple Podcast, and we'll check you out on the next time. What are we going to go do, Larry?
We're going to rant. Let's rant.
All right, gang. Everything will be all right if it weren't for these freaking kids.